these are things that just don't go away. That mentality also travels into my work experience.
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Another avenue to my success has been learning how to leverage my business. Right? Mm-hmm. I can't be in 100 places at one time. So I learned slowly that if you start sharing responsibility with people, share a little bit of your profit with people, you'll make more money. You'll be more available. You'll be more successful. And then the two of you can share it with a third person, and that third person shares it with it's amazing how it works once you actually apply the steps. That's right. The brilliant part about a system is there are thousands of realtors that have been through this game way before us, and they've done all of this. And when I first started, I wanted to reinvent the wheel. I was going to change real estate. I was going to be the first person to socially media sell. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. You're not reinventing the wheel, buddy. It's already there. Just get on board. Yeah, learn from the people that have done this before who are super successful. Follow the steps. Do the same thing. And when I was training people, it was the same thing. How do you lose all the weight? Eat the same thing every day. And people would look at me like, huh? Like, no. These people stay in shape because they eat the same thing all the time. They don't overeat. They don't eat Doritos when they're not supposed to. They eat 5 times a day, scheduled meals, eat the same thing. And all of a sudden, these people would start to lose weight and go, oh my God, it's amazing. All I did was change my diet.
Yeah.
Steps, small steps equal big results. Same thing happens in real estate. Same thing happens in any business that you do. But the truth is, if you deviate, you're going to mess it up.
So really quick, what are some, before we dive deeper into leverage, because I know that's the first thing that you told me about as well, really, since you know that I have some systems in place. What are some of the specific systems that you have in place as a realtor, as somebody who is, actively pursuing deals, working their sphere of influence, that you use to leverage? Because I know some of your systems, and they're kind of like off the charts, that you leverage your time because you have the right systems in place, in addition to using people as resources, right?
So exactly. And
what are some of the systems
key,
you got?
It's this whole thing is cyclical. It all works together. And if you take one out, it doesn't work. So you need the system in play so that you can use it to leverage yourself to bring purpose. And it all works together, right? So I had to learn how to get into people's homes, people's phones, people's computers. I didn't know how to do that when I first started, right? So I had to find a system that worked. And what I did was I looked everywhere for a database system that would help me do that. I just happened to get the most amazing one when I signed up with this brokerage. But I mean, it does it for you. So once you dive into that system in itself, it takes care of other things that you would essentially need other systems for.
Cool. So clarify, when you say system, we're talking about a CRM.
A CRM for sure. If you don't have a CRM, you're lost completely. I was trying to reinvent the wheel. I had my own CRM. I used Google Sheets in my calendar. It didn't work.
I love the brutal honesty, because there's a theme on all of the episodes that we do. It's like not reinventing the wheel, just following what works. You're saying like the Google Sheets and my calendar, my own system didn't work. Let me just go find a guy who's top producing in this area, in my office. What are they using? And just took it and applied it. And I know you've made it better, or you tailored it more so to your needs. So obviously you have a CRM, and inside of CRM, you have a system that you layer on top with how you follow up with leads, what you say, how do you do that? What does that look like?
So my system is really simple. What I do is I limit my database to a maximum of 200 people. Okay.
Why?
And why? Because it's too much.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Because if you have more, it's too much, right? You're not going to be able to do it. And if you do have more, leverage yourself, use somebody else to contact the other people. Give the other 200 to somebody else.
So to clarify, you're not saying, hey, have only 200 people in my database. You're saying, hey, I have 200 people in my database that I actively build a relationship with and follow up with. And everybody else, let's say it's 1,000 people, the other 800, you're leveraging someone else or the automations or whatever else you have built in to kind of warm them up, nurture them for the long-term conversion, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
You know, and you want to keep your number to 150 is really the best. 200 is extra. And I say 200 because you're always going to be adding and subtracting. People are not going to respond. They're not going to reply. They're going to opt out. So you need to replace those people. So you can consistently have 150 people rotating. And what you do is from January 1 to December 31, you put them in a cycle. And you have a certain amount of people a day, and they get a number. Right? So you go through your first 15 people in your database, and each one of them gets a number. Right?
Like 1
and on
15.
that day of the week, you call that person. Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to touch base. How's your mom? She feeling better? Great. Awesome. Hey, just in case you forgot, I'm in real estate. So if you know anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, let me know. Cool. All right. Tell me about your daughter's field trip. I missed it. I missed the whole thing on Facebook. Right. And my conversation goes, it's really, I get the bullshit out of the way first. Yes, of course, I'm a realtor. I say that because people are like goldfish. Right. They'll forget I'm a realtor while I'm talking to them. Right. Hey, how you doing? Great. What do you do? I'm a realtor. Okay. What do you do again? Right. Because it's goldfish mentality. Because if they're not looking for a house, right, they forget. They don't care. They don't need you. You're just a nice guy. Right. But if they are looking for a house, or if they may be in the market, or if they know somebody that's in the market, oh, he's a realtor and he's a nice guy. But let me get your card instead of what's your name again. You know what I mean? So because now they become somebody who you're interacting with. You know somebody that's interested in buying, selling your real estate? Oh, yeah, my mother is looking for a new house. Oh, my God, give her my number. Let's talk, right? So that's part of it. You know, you have to be genuine in your approach as well. When you talk to these people, it's not about real estate, except that one question, right? Do you know anyone at this time looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Great. If you do, give them my name. Great talking to you. Have a nice day. Talk to you next week. Click. Bye. And then the next time their number comes around, I call them again. Now I'm not just some moron that calls them randomly and says, hey, do you want to buy a house? No, I'm a friend consistently calling them to see how they're doing.
Love it. So you may have multiple people with the same number, aka you're calling, let's say 4 or 5 people a day.
Usually about 10 people a day.
A long period of time, let's say over the next 30 days. And 5 people have a number 1. 5 people have number 2, and that's how you break up your 150 to 200. So that allows you to not have to basically swamp everybody all at the same time.
Right. And I'm not throwing 100 phone calls in my day. Right. Like seriously, I have a kid with special needs. I have young children that go to elementary school and middle school. So my day is ruined after 2:00. Like from 2:00 to 6, there's dance lessons and therapy and speech and recitals and the rehearsals and all the sport things that are going on. I got to drive back and forth and to and from and pick this one up and drop that one off and make sure that this one's got the clothes and this one's got the uniform. And my day is ruined after 2:00. So if I don't get it done before 2, I'm screwed. So 100 people a day, that's a lot of people. I understand that there's dialers and stuff out there. That may work for some people, but it might not work for everyone. This is at least manageable, right? Everybody gets the same day. So let's say I have 10 people that have the 22nd on them. I got to call them on the 22nd. And that's only step 1, right? Because let's say I speak to 4 of them. Now I have to take notes on all 4 of those conversations, put them into my database. Let's say one of those 4 is looking to buy a house. So they just got a hashtag, right, that says 3 months because they're looking to buy a house in 3 months. So now they're going to come up more regularly because that 3-month rule is going to pop up somewhere twice a month. Now I got it. Not only do I have to talk to them once a month, I have to send them something on another day in that month. So that the following month I call them back. Did you get my email? Do you want more? Let me send you more listings. I'll do it twice a month. Now I got 3 touches on that one person. By the time I get to 5, we bought a house. We're under contract. That's usually how it works. But the system has to be in play in order for it to work. If I write it down on a piece of paper and then my kid comes in and spills juice on it and then the whole thing gets thrown out, I forgot to call that person back. And they were buying a house. That's a dead lead right there. So I don't let myself try and get into that. I systematize, I organize, and then I follow the steps.
Simple and consistent action.
Same thing every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's the best. The problem, same thing. These all loop into kind of diets and gym and all this stuff. All is exactly the same. This, my opinion, it is like, keep it simple, stupid, and you'll stick to it. Like, just make something very simple. Like, in fact, me and Pete were just talking, believe it or not, I've actually been on a kind of diet myself, right? Just for my own personal things, right? And
give yourself some credit because you've been killing it. Yes, the audience wants to hear your progress.
Right. Everybody wants to be modest about their weight loss. I just lost 50 pounds. It's amazing. I feel like a brand new person.
50 pounds would be insane. I mean, I basically, someone lost 50 pounds, like, holy shit.
I went down 3 pant sizes, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, maybe
I put on my old pants. My wife is like, never again will you wear those. They just look like I had a rope tie them together and he'd keep them on. It was
I love it. That like, I'm doing it like I'm in a contest with my old man, actually, my dad. So we thought we'd do it together, right? And
yeah, that's great.
We're both like hyper competitive, but
of course
the difference is that my diet's exactly the same. Like, I like eating crap food. I'm not going to lie. Like, I basically only eat meat, and then I'm not opposed to going and grabbing a takeaway. But here's what I did different. So he cuts out everything and he's like, I'm going to do like replacement meals and all this shit. And I'm like, that would like drive me insane. So I just went from eating like tons of food to eating the same food, just like a quarter of the amount. But I get to eat exactly the same stuff, right?
So then you lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, I've lost 17, 18 pounds in 8 weeks.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Doing nothing different except rationing your food, right?
Correct. Yeah. No more exercise, no nothing. Yeah. Just literally changing the quantity, not even quality, just the quantity of what I eat. And
step one is
change
the amount of food you eat. Step 2, change the type of food you eat, and you'll see it go faster. Step 3, exercise. You'll see it go faster, right? Again, it's all those steps. The more you add those steps, the more you'll get out of it. It's the same thing with real estate.
Exactly. So this is why I was
the more you'll make.
Right. So it's like, so keep it consistent and simple so you execute against it so you don't get overwhelmed. This is something that we see, like our training that we've got is like insane. There is like you can train on everything. Like, you know, if you want to learn how to do TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, or you want to do cold call, and there is like 30 different trainings, right? And what happens, people come in and they go, well, I want to do it all. And then they get overwhelmed. They do none of it well. And then they fail. And it's like, actually, you see consistently the people that are successful do either like 1, 2, maybe 3.
Right. Maybe. Because 1 is really hard to keep up on if you have other shit going on in your life.
Right. Exactly. So we had, it was like episodes, I don't know. Robert Bean was on. And like, he's just like sole focus his Facebook groups. That's how he generates all his deals. He feeds his team from it. And he is like, I do everything from Facebook groups.
Yep.
So, and he specifically just farms Facebook groups. And that's how he gets, I mean, he does, I forget how many deals he does, but he feeds his whole team with leads from it now. And he doesn't, because he hated cold calling is kind of his thing. And it's like, he just focused on like that one thing. He's like, I'm just going to be like insane. And then it was like very specific of not even Facebook, like Facebook groups. And now he's feeding himself, he's feeding a full team, and they're growing and scaling. And you know,
I took a page out of his book too, and I started doing that.
Yeah, it's insane.
I took it one step further because he does a lot of real estate oriented stuff.
Yes.
Right. So when he's on a group, he's promoting to the group for real estate. I'm doing more of a personal, this is my life, this is my community aspect. I'm not $1 million real estate agent. I'm not going out there looking for those 5.3 $4 million ranch homes because that's not my genre. That's not my forte. Those aren't my people, essentially. Right.
Right.
So I'm reaching out to people that I have more in common with, which makes the sale a lot easier because they feel way more comfortable with me.
And understood.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's the other thing too. One of the things was, I'm going to be that $1 million listing agent. Whoa. You just got your license. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there that get lucky, and they get that first deal, and then they're sought after by these brokerages that actually sell that kind of stuff. And then that's where they go. That's great. Doesn't happen to everybody. And it happens to almost nobody.
Yeah. And it's hard.
Right? We found out that as easy as real estate seems, you really got to work.
It's hard. It's really hard. Right? This is the thing, like the barrier to entry is low. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it.
Less than $1,000 to start your own business.
Right. But actually the difference between anyone can have a license and anyone can actually successfully be a realtor. Well, you know how big the cavern is because 84 or 82% of people quit after 1 year, right? So that's how big the cavern is, right?
That's amazing. Why even start? If you're going to quit, why even start? That's a huge number. To me, I look at that and go, wow, that's might not be for me. But there are more real estate agents right now in school studying for their exam than there are on the planet. That's crazy.
Yeah. But like when you do it right and when you stick at it, like it is the American dream. It is time and financial freedom. It is you get to choose, you get to leverage, you get to build your own thing. And
you have to do it right.
But you've got to do
it. Otherwise, you're always going to be looking for that next deal.
Correct. Yeah. Which obviously then now leads us back into leverage, right? Which is, hey, you might be doing, say, like 20, 25 deals this year, and you start at, say, 3, but you've got a team that now does deals that you take a cut off, right? And you've got coaching and you've got all this. So let's unpack leverage, because leverage comes in so many different forms, and you've kind of got so many different leverage points that you're making money from like 17 places.
Well, because here's the thing. When I first got into real estate, I was a real estate agent, and I looked at myself and I was proud. I'm a realtor. I'm a real estate agent. I'm an agent. I'm an agent. And then I realized, whoa, it's not, you can't just be a real estate agent. You got to be a psychologist. You got to be, you got to be a furniture mover. You got to be a carpenter. There's so many other things that you have to be. And I said, whoa. And I sat down with a few of my friends and they were like, first of all, you need to leverage yourself completely. So, and I said, I don't understand. And they started explaining to me the whole brokerage. And then, and this is where EXP came into play, because as soon as they showed me the model, I couldn't unsee it. Right? I couldn't unsee it. And it is based on leverage.
Right.
But where you are the sole point, right? Not somebody else, not a broker, not a brokerage, not a firm, you. Period. You decide how much money you make and where you want to go in this business. And they showed you can do it by yourself and stay here all day, or you can add some other people. And before you know it, you're this big, and people are joining you. And again, once I started using systems and people to add service to my business, it became way easier, because now I don't always have to go out looking for that sale. Now I can say, well, let me coach today, or today I'm going to be, today I'm showing houses, or today I'm doing an open house, or there's so many other things I can do instead of just looking for the next deal. Peter and I had started working together a few months ago, and I think I spent more time on his deals than I did on mine last month. You know what I mean? So no, dude, I love it. Don't even go there. It's one of those things where I can actually do that now. Yeah. I got deals going. I got people. I have somebody showing my house right now as we speak. They're showing a property to a buyer and their agent. Right? Why? Because I have other things to do, and I can't be in two places at once. And in if you ask any realtor what's the hardest part about being a realtor, they're going to say you can't be in two places at the same time. Right? I can't show this house and show that house at the same time. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Create leverage.
Leverage. It's all leverage. And it doesn't stop with just the people that work for you. It goes even further. Like I said before, like I'm part of my community, right? I'm really big into my community. I give back to my community. I'm trying to, this year I'm doing, we were trying to do it last year. It didn't work out because of COVID, but we're doing ice cream socials to give back to the community. We're doing, the fall pickup, which is right before Halloween. We go around and help the whole neighborhood pick up everybody's lawn and leaves and palm fronds. And we do all their additional landscaping to make the house look pretty. So when the kids walk through, the neighborhood looks nice and clean.
Right.
Stuff like that. We don't ask for any money. We don't ask for any. If you want to help, come on, join the bandwagon. Absolutely. The more help, the merrier. Obviously, the more networking, the better. That's what this is really all about, just getting our name out there. And part of the thing that people fail at is trying to get their name out there. And you've got to give from contribution. You have to come from a point of purpose, right? So in order to be successful and to create really good leverage, you have to provide purpose. So I'll go to communities and I'll say, hey, listen, I'm doing this community thing today. I got 30 people helping me. I'll go to a pizza place and say, hey, let me get 30 pies, but for every pie I buy, will you give me one? Because it's going back to the community, right? And it's free advertising for you, right? And I'll even spend the money and put a coupon on your pizza box for $10 off your next order over $50, and I'll give them out to all of those families. 221 people in my neighborhood, or 430 people in that particular neighborhood. That's a free coupon for free business that they may not be getting right now. I'm providing a service for free for that person, just to be in business with that person to maybe get a listing. Okay, but I'm better getting the relationship, because now I can use this guy for another neighborhood or the whole community. Or he can sponsor a movie night, or you know what I mean? The options are limitless when you start reaching out to other people. And small business in the community is huge. They want to be part of the community. That's all they want to do. That's why they opened up their store in the first place, to give to the community. So let them give to the community, but you have to present it to them where you're going to do most of the work, even though you're really not doing a lot of the work.
Yeah.
Right. There's the system in place. So once you figure that out and you're able to leverage other people, you can come from a point of purpose and give back to the community. And everybody goes, hey, that's the guy with the pizza, or that's the guy that cleans up the house, or that's we want to sell our house with him. He knows the guy down the street for the plumber, or whatever it is. It's stuff like that. Right. I've met all of these different people. We call them vendors. Right. So I have relationships with multiple vendors. I've created a sheet for vendors that I've vetted in the neighborhood. And I walk around to my local neighborhoods with my little vendor sheet, and I knock on the door, and I'll spend an hour or two once a week doing different neighborhoods, just knocking on the door, trying to have conversations with people, handing out a vendor sheet. I'm not looking to sell their house. I'm not looking to buy a house for them. I'm just looking to give them something, right? That makes me more memorable than, oh yeah, that schmuck that came in to want to sell our house. No. That's the guy that gave us the sheet that hooked us up with the handyman that did our floor.
Dude,
I remember him.
I need an electrician, my friend.
I got one for you, dude.
I know you do.
I got a great guy. He's good.
So this is leverage and building relationships. I actually want to come back to kind of leverage and want to unpack one thing that I think ties, obviously it is leverage, but you're talking about contractors and leveraging other people's services, which is great to help, benefit. I'm sure it benefits deals and stuff. The other point of leverage is brokers, title people, but also other agents. So you've now got 6 agents, you're bringing on someone else. Like, let's say, how are you going about that? For a start, like, let's say someone's in a position where they're like, I'm looking for another agent. Everyone I find's crap. They're all rubbish. Like, I'm hiring everyone, they're rubbish. Like, is there certain bits of advice you could basically give that would allow people to shortcut some of the, because like with hiring, it's kind of tough. Like, I go through this all the time. Like, I've got better and better, but there is like certain things I look for in people that I now know about that like will shortcut some processes, but I'm talking about different types of hiring than, say, agents, for example. Do you have any tips on kind of that, and also building the relationships with the contractors and other people like that? Because I'm sure you use that as well when you're selling homes as points of leverage, right?
Yeah, of course. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, finding the right person to do the job is tough. you can't predict how hard somebody's actually going to work. Even though they may be the great person, they may check off all your boxes as far as productivity goes. This is what you're looking for, but it doesn't mean that they're actually the hard worker. So that's something you can't really teach. But outside of that, everything else is, as long as you're coachable, you can learn anything. Yeah. So finding the right person, my main objective is, are you coachable?
100%.
That's what I want to know. 100%. Are you willing to be completely vulnerable and open? Because that's what it's going to take. Because and the same question was asked of me when I started here too, 2.5 years ago, was, are you going to be coachable? And I said, of course. And then I realized what he really meant was, shut up and listen. Right? because I think I know everything. I've done it all already. I didn't know shit.
I want to kind of give people a little bit. This might help you. So this is, by the way, coachability is the single biggest thing I look for in every single one of my hires.
Yes, absolutely.
Is coachability, right? And this is just, it doesn't always work, right? But it has worked a damn sight more than random hiring, right? Is people who have played sport at any type of level.
Yep.
Because they have been coached from a super young age and they've been given constructive criticism. So if they've paid, like, they're an athlete or any sports teams, they really enjoy, any type of team sports. I'm not going to say 9 times, I'd say it's 80-20. They are really coachable.
I'd say 9 times out of 10. I'd even go as to 9.9 times out of 10, because you're absolutely right. Because they know what it's like to be a part of a team. Right? To be something bigger than themselves. And that seems to be a big problem with a lot of real estate agents, is they think that, they're brokers and them, that's it.
They think it's a solo fight, right?
Yeah. And a lot of them, and I want to say a lot of the older agents too, and I'm not trying to say like elderly agents, but people that have been in the business for a long time have that mentality. And it's very difficult to break when you've been with it for so long. It's like a bad habit. Right. So getting them to think outside the box again, to start all over again, is very difficult.
Right.
So, to shake those off, sometimes you just can't get rid of them because you've been doing it for so long. But so with me, it's 100%. The first thing I look for in a mentee is, are you coachable? So the first thing I look for in a team member is, are you coachable? Will you listen to what needs to be done, and will you do it? The second is accountability.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm allergic to bullshit, for one. And I'm a big fan of getting things done. I don't like to hear excuses. I'm not the guy that will say, well, I didn't do it because my father's car got a flat tire and then I couldn't get to work on time. And then I don't want to hear the story. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'll get it done. You'll have it by the end of the day. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear, you need what done by when? I'll do my best. That's great. Do your best, because if you can do it early, that's even better, because I got something else for you. Right. But the reality is I don't, and I have this argument with my teenage daughter now. It's just like, I don't need the story. I just want to know you're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Just do what you're supposed to do. Right.
You're dead on the money. That's exactly the same way I am.
And you got to be accountable for it. Even if you mess it up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My bad. Just own it and just be like, I'll get it.
Move on. Own it, fix it, move on.
Correct. I don't need all the, exactly. Yeah. My aunt was doing this and that. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, my dog ate my homework kind of bullshit. I don't need that.
I don't care. It's not done. Tell me when you're going to get it done and just go and do it.
Exactly.
So exactly. It's interesting how the coachability is something you spotted in like the athletes. So that's like a little bit of a top tip as well.
Athletes and military personnel.
Yeah, military also.
Military is great because you can get them to do anything, because they're told to do stupid stuff, right? And I speak from experience. I'm a veteran, so it was, what are we doing here? And it was just like, we're getting a tan, waiting for people to show up. It was like, what are we going to do later? Oh, we're going to clean sand out of our butt crack. It was we had no purpose, but we were we did it because they told us to.
Yeah.
Right. That mentality is military mentality. Do it because you're told to, and they'll do it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Right. I love veterans. They're my favorite people to work with.
Yeah.
Hands down. Forget the fact that we have that kinship. It's just that mentality that I love.
Yeah. I'm the same.
You can't, again, You can teach it, but you need that type of environment to teach it, right? Like basic training was no joke. It was monotonous, but again, consistency, time over task over time. They consistently drilled that into you. That became second nature to me. I still say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I've been in the military 30 years. You know what I mean? So I still stand at parade rest. I still, there's still certain things that I do when somebody older than me walks in the room, somebody that I respect, I stand up just because I learned how to do that in the military. These are things that just don't go away. That mentality also travels into my work experience. I don't have time for bullshit. Don't bullshit me. Tell me yes or no, and we can move on.
It's also the work ethic and like the grind. Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, we're giving access to a private training we did where we revealed the top 3 niches to get listings today completely for free. So if you want access, you can go and download that training at eliteagentsecrets.com. We're regularly releasing new trainings, guides, and cheat sheets, so make sure to head over to eliteagentsecrets.com and sign up so you don't miss out.